Hey, Thread family, we talk all the time on this show about community. Well, today, we're stepping into one.
Hey,
What's up,
Tim,
Alex?
how you doing?
Man, I'm doing great.
Welcome to the Hill.
Good morning, family. It's time to hit the streets. I've got good news today. It's time to be the change. It's time to stand up, get up. 'Cause it's time to get up.
Alex, we're at your place, Gioia's Deli, one of the icons on the Hill. You live, you work here. What do you love about this community?
Well, I love that I'm not the only one that does that. Everybody on the Hill lives, works, and lives here, and it's just amazing. It's a great community to be a part of, and we're all in it together.
What does it feel like to have that kind of community support for you and your family?
Well, it feels like you can't fail, because honestly, you really can't, because if we do, something goes wrong, somebody's always there to help us. A fellow business owner is going to be there to make sure that we succeed, because when we succeed, everybody succeeds.
Can you introduce me to some of your neighbors?
Oh, of course, let's do
go.
it. All right, Tim, this is DiGregorio's Market. I'm going to introduce you to Frank and John, okay? John's the guy I was telling you about. Last summer, the heat spiked by 100 degrees, okay? So we just made 2,000 pounds of hot salami. It was all going to go bad because my refrigeration just went down. John came out of nowhere with his refrigerated trucks, saved the day for me. He's free of charge.
I love that. I got to meet these guys. Let's go.
All right, Tim, I want to introduce you to Frank and John DiGregorio.
Hey, fellas.
Yeah, how are you?
What's going on?
Nice to meet you.
How are y'all?
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Alex.
Tell me, what is it you love about this community so much?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, everything, the area is beautiful. The people are fantastic. The food is great, of course. And then we live here, we work here, and it's nice to be part of the community.
June 1st, 1954, my family arrived here. We've been here ever since. We've never left the Hill. We started the business in '71. The people that come in are very entertaining to talk to, and people are always looking for new recipe, the foodies come in looking for ideas. It's really a lot of fun to be here.
It's the last of the no preservative, no dough enhancer type of bread that's made here. And you'd have to travel to Italy to get the same thing. So, I mean, it's nice to keep it alive here. So it's been a bakery for 100 years. So, we're keeping the tradition going.
And the mindset here is what's good for the community is really good for all.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
I love that. Very big and strong community here. It reminds me of what's going on at Copper Creek Christian Church in Maryville, Illinois. They decided they wanted to move out into the community and make a difference. So their cleaning crew said, hey, let's go out and clean some houses.
We have ministries at this church, and their desire is not to just minister to the people that are here, but every ministry has a unique opportunity to minister to people outside of the walls here.
And January happened to be the month of our cleaning ministry. So going out and cleaning people's homes kind of made sense with the cleaning ministry. So that's how that kind of got started. We had made some posts in different local community pages in our surrounding community asking people if they needed cleaning services. For whatever reason, maybe that they can be depressed, they could have just had a baby, they could be injured. Whatever it is the reason, it didn't really matter. It's just if they needed it and they needed the help, we were there to serve and we were going to bring in volunteers to help them. At first I thought, it's going to be hard to get people to let us to come into their home. That's pretty vulnerable. It'd be hard to let someone to come in my home. How am I going to expect someone to allow me to come into their home? When we started posting, we were getting more interest from the community that wanted to volunteer with us and not as much interest for people that we wanted to go out and clean to. It so happened that he just brought the volunteers to us first, and then we just kept posting, and then we got the people that we needed to clean for. What I quickly realized is that these people were hurting. They were hurting and they were ashamed. They couldn't even believe that they were asking for help, but they knew that they needed it and they were desperate.
It really opened my eyes to see that there are so many people who are in need that you don't know of.
Cleaned the carpets, we did their dishes. We were able to recaulk their showers. I mean, we were in their most vulnerable places. And for them to just be willing to open their home and say, we trust you.
I made some friends. They were really nice. They were appreciative of it.
You don't realize the small things you can do to help people. And it was such a small thing to go in and help clean their house.
We wanted to be able to show Maximus, and we need people around us like this and in our community that are willing to come out and help each other.
And just being able to go out into the community is so awesome because Jesus never asked people to come to him. He never asked people to say, come and see me. I'm going to sit in this house and I want you to come and see me. He went out to the people. And what he did is he did it in real and practical and relational ways.
I never even thought of people needing something like this before. And I was pulled into it, and I'm so glad that I was. I'm ready to go out and do it again.
I was grateful that I was able to do it and would do it again because I'm able.
And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to model. We don't actually spend a lot of money on outreach because relational outreach doesn't cost a lot of money. It involves people.
I love that mission, and you know what I love most about it is the simplicity. They found a need in their community and they moved to it. You never know what difference just a small act of kindness is going to make in somebody's life. They're making a difference by cleaning homes. Hey, one more thing about the Hill, they're always feeding you.
Yes, we are, Tim.
Tony, what you got here?
This is our Italian sausage.
Ooh.
It's called salsiccia, and it's homemade.
Is this a family recipe?
It is a family recipe.
Oh, that is good. Really good. Like a work of art. Speaking of art, we got a group of folks that are moving to the needs of young people in their community through the arts.
Freedom Arts is a family. It's a village that supports each other. We center the youth. We use the arts to help them figure out who they are, who they were created to be. We support them as they journey through school and just navigate that system and support them with all their life goals. I think for too long, this so-called American dream has only been accessible to people of a certain skin color, from a certain zip code, at least in St. Louis, and with a certain level of formal education.
Sometimes school is just very difficult for you. Let's try to approach it a different way. Let's see how you learn, and then see how we can help you with the way you're learning.
Primarily, we do that through providing a space and providing a safe space for the kids not to just go after school, but where they can be themselves.
For the older kids, for the middle school and high schoolers, after they finish their homework, which is their main goal, they have creative time, which is great for them to just focus on the area that they really want to, whether it's writing poetry or doing some visual art. We have drumline.
We're not built to just sit at a table and fill out papers. We're not built like that. We're built to be creative and use that creativity in all sorts of ways. Our kids get to learn professional skills from actual professional artists. So we're talking about visual artists, we're talking about word artists, and then a lot of performing artists.
As much as academics is our focus on the evenings, our whole model is just be relational with the kids.
We're always there for them to fall back into when times are tough. And it's taken basically all of the 9 years we've been at it to build the trust to where we can then push on them a little bit and say, we've had these conversations, we're gathering these resources, now let's take some ownership. So what matters to us is that they understand that they're creative, that their voices matter, and that they all have a story to tell. Let's reclaim our own abilities, let's reclaim our creativity and our purpose for being here, and let's make the most of our story together.
We are an organization that empowers young people to be the best version of themselves and to be who God created them to be.
When we face struggles, we have to fall back on that faith and know why we're doing this. So many of these kids don't have that. They're taught to look at their circumstances and believe in that. We want them to know that they're more than their circumstances.
I just love their passion. I mean, it's not just about education there, it's about building a relationship with the young people, and they're doing a great job.
That's a great story.
It's awesome. Hey, what's next?
All right, let's keep these stories going. I want to introduce you to our alderman.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Giddy up.
Our first mission is bring glory to God. That's why we're here. We have a talent. It just happens to be banking.
So M1 Bank is banking on a mission fueled by the power of purpose.
It gets a point in your life where you got to live it every day, not just believe it.
I'm believing that this is going to catch on and we're all going to spread up.
For us in our house, this is how we're going to serve the Lord and His purpose. And we're going to do it through the financial institution that happens to be called M1 Bank.
Hey friends, let's be honest. Nobody knows what the future holds, but we all know what we want our future to look like. Lower taxes, guaranteed income, financial stability. Sound pretty good? Now, all you have to do is call an attorney, an insurance agent, a money manager, and a tax advisor. Or you can call the one place that has it all under one roof. Our friends at Circle of Advisors secure us. In 20 years, not a single client has lost even a dime to market volatility. They've helped walk with the thread since day one to help secure our future, and they'll do the same for you too. Threadheads, I love our time together on Saturday mornings, but it's just not long enough. We should get together more often. You know what? I got a way we can do that. You can follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We'll share messages throughout the week to get you through your week. We've got content that just doesn't make it on the TV show. We'll share that with you. All kinds of ways for us to interact, and we don't have to wait 7 days to do it. So follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and we can thread up all week long. It's time to thread up, y'all. Hey, Threadheads, you no doubt know Don Brown.
Don Brown Chevrolet? Don Brown Chevrolet. Don Brown Chevrolet.
And you probably know that Don has a flair for fashion and a knack for cars, but he also has a heart for people.
I learned from my father a long time ago, it's not about one person, it's about the entire community. It is a car business, but it's a people business. It's about the people. It's not about the products, it's about the people.
If you're in the market for a car, come to Don Brown, where it's people over process.
And we're proud to be part of the Thread family, and we'd love to be part of your family.
Man, Alex, I appreciate you showing me around your neighborhood here on the hill. I can't wait to meet your alderman.
Yeah, we're here.
Whoa. This is a Bocce club.
Yeah, I know. We're here.
Okay. Good to see you. I'm Tim.
Hi, Tim. Hey, Al. Good to see you again.
You're the alderman.
I'm the alderman. More importantly, I'm the bar owner.
Tell me, what's it like to be the alderman on the hill?
It's one of the best things in the world. It's a great privilege to represent these people. Having grown up here, lived here all my life, it's just something I've always aspired to.
You're not only the alderman, you're the business owner. This is a place where people come to play bocce. They gather, they eat, they hang out here. Why was it so important for you to be so accessible to the people?
This community, again, where I grew up, my wife, everything I have has come from this neighborhood. My wife, my family, my business, my livelihood is all about this place. People come from all over the world to see this neighborhood, and I'm so proud to be able to represent it, both as a business owner, living up the street as a resident, and as the alderman.
What do you love most about the hill?
My wife.
Good answer. Good answer. What a great community here. You know who also is moving into the communities here in St. Louis is Oasis. They're moving to the needs of our seniors in a very, very unique and special way. Take a look.
We are all about successful aging. We're a St. Louis founded, we're at our 38th year, national organization, and what we offer is older adults an opportunity to engage through education. Our founder, Marilyn Mann, founded it as an idea after looking at programs that were available at senior centers for older adults that she didn't feel were tremendously engaging, and felt like older adults had more to offer and we could offer more to them. So in St. Louis, our intergenerational tutoring program was founded here, and that's our largest volunteer effort. We have over 2,000 tutors in St. Louis working with early elementary age kids. They tutor kids K through 3rd grade in literacy and provide that mentorship adult role where this adult that isn't their teacher, isn't their parent, is excited to see them every week. One of the most moving stories I've heard in tutoring recently was a male tutor. He said that Oasis tutoring, and he got talked into doing it by a friend, gave him the self-confidence to do something he'd always wanted to do, which is get in front of a bunch of kids and teach Sunday school. And giving purposeful volunteer opportunities to older adults, which Oasis does in a variety of ways, moves them away from an isolated state. Social connectedness matters for older adults. I mean, one of the things that Oasis does when it's doing its job very well is you have a cohort of older adults convening and new relationships and friendships between each other are formed. In St. Louis, we've made a real effort to expand to communities that can't afford to pay, and we offer programs for free or at a reduced price. Our classes have 100% enrollment. We have no open slots, we have waiting lists. It speaks to several things. These are older adults that want to live bigger lives, they want to move, they want to connect, they want to be with each other, they want to volunteer, but also there aren't a lot of opportunities to do that. Our mission is older adults engage in successful aging regardless of where they live, and we know that zip code is the largest contributor to mortality rates, to health outcomes, and one of the reasons for that is different zip codes have different access to resources. And St. Louis has an incredibly diverse set of municipalities, all with different economic environments. We want to be in all of them. And luckily, we found faith-based partners like in the Northside Baptist Church, where the pastor and the congregation really believe in this sort of community engagement.
I've got some questions in a chair. You know what that means? It's time for the hot seat right here. Alex is in the hot seat. Alex, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, we got 30 seconds on the clock. Clock will start after I ask the first question. The topic is the hill.
All right.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
All right, first question. Jack and Jill went up.
The hill.
Yeah, there you go. When you turned 40, it said that you're over.
The hill.
Yeah, there you go. Neighborhood home of Yogi Berra and Joe Garagiola.
The Hill.
Yeah! Not a mountain, but a
hill.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a Fox show focusing on a man named Hank and his family and friends.
Over the hill.
No,
the hill. King of the Hill. King of the Hill.
King of the Hill. Yeah, there you go. I sell propane and propane products. All right, Fats Domino found his thrill on Blueberry
Hill.
There you go. Hey, guess what? Alex, it's all downhill from here because you just conquered the hot seat. Yeah! John Larson's Allstate agency is all about family. He's a second-generation agent. He loves on his team like family, and we're proud to say that he and his team are now members of the Thread family.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
You know, I love what I do. I'm an insurance agent. I take care of people's lives every single day. We've got locations in Wentzville, Chesterfield, and Troy, Missouri. But more than that, this business has become a ministry. Call us and find out what makes us different.
Come see John and his team, and I guarantee you, they'll treat you like family too. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Tim. You ready to meet this week's USA Mortgage Changemaker?
You know I am.
Come on.
The March of Dimes is an organization that helps improve the health of babies as well as moms across the nation. So I have 9-year-old boy-girl twins and then 5-year-old boy-girl twins. When our first set of twins were born, they were in the NICU for a short time, and we saw how much March of Dimes did for them, so we decided to get involved. The shots that they gave my wife to develop the baby's lungs, those are all in accordance with March of Dimes research. One thing that we've decided to do is keep our kids involved and let them realize that the reason they have their health is because of this organization. You know, whatever charity anybody decides on, I think it needs to be near and dear to their heart.
Wow, Kelly, another great story.
Absolutely. There'll be another one next episode.
Until then, you find your unique way to become a change maker. Welcome back to The Thread. We're continuing our tour of the Hill neighborhood. And Alex, what's next?
All right, before leaving the Hill, you gotta have some gelato. We're here at Gelato di Riso. This place is owned by Larry Fuse. He also owns Lorenzo's. Now, what's cool about this place is he actually bought it right before it was about to go under because he knew that this was the heart of the Hill right next to Piazza Emo. He saved it, and now it's everybody's favorite hangout.
Let's go hang out. I'm in.
Yo, guys, welcome to Gelato di Riso.
Thanks, Larry. I'm Tim.
Good
to meet you. This looks awesome. Oh, so good. Tell me, Larry, why did you want to save this place?
The Hill needs a gelato shop. We had one here, and we just didn't need to see it go away. I brought my kids to St. Ambrose every morning, and I would come here to get a cup of coffee during the day. And I didn't want to see it gone. I wouldn't be able to stop here in the morning and get a cup of coffee.
You didn't want to see this place where community takes place to really be gone. That's important to you.
It's very important. You know, after school and on the weekends, the kids come here, they hang out. Either they're waiting for their parents or all just here hanging out after school, letting a little energy off, and this is their spot to hang out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What do you love most about the Hill?
Just the neighborhood, all the businesses in the neighborhood, the people. I've lived here my whole life. We know everybody, and just everybody getting along and helping out each other.
I love it. I can see why the kids hang out here too. Speaking of the kiddos, we got another place. A mom, 5 years ago, got together with some other moms. They wanted a place for their kids to engage in the community, and they found it, Wonder Workers.
Wonder Workers is a group of students. Right now we have 60 students who come together once a month on Fridays to do things for other people. Trying to plant some seeds, showing them some different ways to participate in the community, to serve the community. So when they get to high school, they don't necessarily choose the service hours that are easy or convenient, but the ones that are meaningful and that can make a difference in people's lives. Today we are working, making some Easter baskets for St. Vincent de Paul Parish. We have blessing bags. A lot of times when you pull up to a stop sign or an exit ramp and somebody's asking for money, what I always say when I give out mine is, here's a few things that might help you get through today. They have things in them like socks or hand warmers or for some granola bars, some food, some even Band-Aids or Tylenol.
Have you given out one of those bags yet to somebody?
Yes.
Tell me what that felt like.
Really good. We went to this place and we gave out a blessing bag to some kids, and it was really fun.
How did they feel when they got it?
Really.
I got started 5 years ago because we knew that I was always thinking that I could do more. We've got this big pool of kids to draw from, and we knew that we could do more. And then we ended up on retreat with 5 ladies who felt the exact same way when we were talking one day. And so we decided that we were going to have an after-school club to come and serve others. I expected their reaction to be not too excited about it. You know, I mean, this is something my mom's making me do, but we were really pleasantly surprised, and it was really fun to see the transformation as they all started realizing that service is really fun.
It really surprised me because I didn't think a lot of people were going to like it, but it turned out to be so much fun. And a lot of people just, you know, they're really committed.
I'm not really surprised at all, considering how much fun it is.
You know, people always say that kids are always on their phones and they're not engaged with other people, and we don't see that here. We don't see that. For this hour after school, they're together, they're working, they rotate through different stations. They are saying, what can I do next? How can I help clean up? Is there anything else I can carry?
I love that we get to help others that who are in need. We always get to help with the service projects.
We have 60 kids ages JK to 8th grade that come, and actually we have a lot of alumni coming back too, which is kind of fun in the last 5 years. In between piano, in between sports practices, in between everything, it's hard to kind of fit in community service, even though it's the right thing and the thing that should be prioritized. It's the thing that always gets pushed to the back burner. And so for these kids to come in and be ready and willing to work, it's very inspiring.
What do you like most about this Wonder Workers program?
That we do stuff for the poor and help the poor and do nice things.
It's a good thing to see this group of kids come together with this much energy to be able to have that much output and help so many people in an hour's time on a Friday afternoon.
I love how there's always something new that we can do to help people.
Let's get these kids out, let's get these kids together, let's start thinking of things we can do, let's recognize the problem and let's make the solution and let's be part of it.
Isn't that beautiful? Don't you just love to see when the kids are engaged in service? And they're not just doing it, they're loving it. And how about Becky and those other parents with Wonder Workers? I mean, they just said, we got to get our kids into serving. We'll figure out the where and the how later, but let's just get them together. And then they found their passion for serving these young people in their service opportunities. How about Paul with Oasis Institute? He moved back to St. Louis, by the way, to take care of his aging parents. But when he did so and began working at Oasis Institute, he realized that all these communities needed these services, and he found a way to get them to the people who needed them. And how did he do it? By partnering with churches and other faith organizations who were like-minded, displaying the power of we over me. How about Copper Creek Christian Church in Maryville? I mean, the serving team there, the cleaning team said, we're gonna get outside these walls. We don't just have to clean inside the church. We can go serve the community by cleaning. And they had no idea that they'd get all these volunteers from the community that wanted to do the same thing. And look at the impact that small act of service had on these people's lives. So cool. And how about Freedom Arts, right? Beth and Miles and Andrew, they saw a need, a gap in these young people's education. And they said, we've got something to offer. So they stepped in to do it and moved towards that need. And how did they get their name, Freedom Arts? From Galatians 5:13. Use your freedom to serve one another in love. That's what they're doing, they're serving in love. You know, in Acts chapter 2, we get a picture of what the early church looked like. And what it looked like was community. They were living together, they were worshiping together. They pooled all their resources to make sure that there was nobody that was in need. They were being community. And isn't that what we see in the Hill community? I mean, you heard Alex share the story about how when his refrigeration went down in the middle of the summer and he's about to lose all his sausage, that the Di Gregorios stepped in and brought their refrigeration truck to save all that sausage so he wouldn't lose it. He also told me that G and Tony's, the restaurant that's across the street from him, well, they have a key to each other's place in case they ever need to get in to help each other with anything. He also told me this other amazing story. 2 bakers down on the hill, and one of them had a mixer go down in the middle of the night. He was gonna miss his deadlines. What happened? His competitor, his neighbor though, down the street, rolled one of his mixers down the street so his neighbor wouldn't miss his deadlines. That's community. That's what it's all about. We're all connected. And there's really no peace for any until there's really peace for all. One of the greatest resources God gave us is one another. He works in and through us in so many different ways. He's worked in my life through other people. Hopefully he's used me in the lives of others. But that's what it's all about, is serving one another and coming together on what we share in common instead of dividing over differences. When we can do that, we can make a world of difference. And how can we do it? Because we get peace within. Because Christ has given us that peace within, that we can go out and serve in our freedom that we've received in Christ in love by serving one another. Well, that brings us to the end, but not the end. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, I gotta meet this guy.
Oh, he's great.
Let's go. I should pull instead of push.
Do it again.
I mean, it says pull. I mean, we're continuing our tour of the thread. Nice. They decided they wanted to move out into the community to do some good. So their cleaning crew said, let's do some clean. I got to the last word.
Spot Content Studio.